World of Warcraft Shadowlands doesn't only straddle the line between life and death, it straddles the line between what was and what could be for Blizzard's 16-year-old MMO. While it bombards us with familiar characters like Thrall, Jaina Proudmoore, and a few surprise returns in its opening fanfare, it also proceeds to gleefully kick open the doors to new corners of the Warcraft universe and introduce the intimidating Jailer. As the first main bad guy in WoW's history who didn't originate in the RTS games in some way, his arrival seems like the start of a whole new chapter of the story. At the same time, Shadowlands tries to turn the page on what max level activities look like, and it has some success in reinvigorating WoW for yet another year. World of Warcraft has long felt like two different games to me, especially in more recent expansions. There's the usually exciting, fast-paced, story-dense leveling experience, and then the repetitive and ultimately tiresome endgame. Shadowlands does the first part very well, as expected. It plays to WoW's strengths, with a plot that kept me hooked for about 20 hours, and new zones that are bizarre, distinct, and just wonderful. Revendreth, where the wicked dead go to repent of their sins, is a delightfully gothic sprawl of creepy castles and tangled woods. The ethereal nocturnal forest of Ardenweld, where the creatures of nature go to sleep until they can be reincarnated into new mortal forms, is downright captivating in its starry luminance. Ardenweld also gives us one of the best zone stories WoW has ever put together. Most of the characters are refreshingly new faces, and I found them intensely charming and memorable. Stalwart allies Naya and Khorane both endeared themselves to me almost immediately in their desire to try and do what's best even in a very messy, heartbreaking situation. But the surprise guests from the existing lore are unexpected and very well presented, with a big build-up to a satisfying reveal. And the plight of your new Fae allies takes some very affecting turns that go above and beyond WoW's typically pretty limited emotional range. Our introduction to this new world is a bit light on whimsy though, since we're dumped pretty much immediately into the Maw. This is basically Warcraft's version of Hell, where the truly irredeemably wicked souls go to suffer for eternity. Everything from the foreboding music to the sickly orange color palette feel as oppressive as Icecrown Glacier, while completely departing from its cold blue and black look. The wicked enemies and buildings are still in line with the Lich King's sense of style though, reminding us that we're seeing the realm from which his power originated. Blizzard has long tried to sell us on the idea that the real game starts when you hit max level though, and frankly, I've never bought into that, as I generally lose interest and take a hiatus after I've level capped a few characters and run through all the dungeons a few times. But Shadowlands is the first expansion that has made me want to believe the company line in a while. Endgame activities have never been this diverse and interesting. The star of the show is definitely Torghast, a semi-randomized roguelike mega-dungeon that can be tackled solo or with a group. You accumulate randomized powers from anima caches, like you might blessings in Hades. These are mostly specific to your class and can make you hilariously overpowered in some creative ways if you get lucky, though you can only use them in Torghast and they reset after every run. Each wing has different modifiers, and 2 of the 6 are open every week, so you won't be facing the same challenges over and over. Torghast rewards you with Soul Ash, which is used to craft new personalized legendary items, but hang on a sec, can we talk about how many freaking currencies there are in this expansion? Aside from gold and reputation, which we all know and love, there's anima, which is used to upgrade various structures at your Covenant Sanctum. Except you also need redeemed souls for those, of which you can only rescue a limited number from the Maw per week. Spending these to activate the conduit at your Sanctum lets you channel anima into specific locations and open up challenges that you can complete. To gain grateful offerings, which along with anima can be spent on while you're out rescuing these souls, in addition to Soul Ash with your Covenant, which is like an extra reputation track that is used to buy permanent unlock in a strict people to find Sinstone fragments that can be turned into a specific vampire dude in Revendreth to... Okay, I think you get the idea. It's a lot to keep track of, and I frequently found myself confused about which currencies are spent on which things and how to acquire them. Also, everything is heavily time-gated, and it's difficult to see any reason to do this other than trying to keep you subscribed longer. At first, you can progress a decent amount week to week, but some of the later Sanctum upgrades cost so many weekly or daily limited currencies that it's going to take months to unlock them at minimum, and so far, the rewards are really underwhelming. In Ardenweld, I've been given the job of nurturing specific souls to prepare them for reincarnation, a process that takes 3 real-time days each. The reward for doing this the first time, to my shock and dismay, was a stack of 12 cloth, something I could have farmed in about half an hour at most. The waiting itself wouldn't be so bad if the rewards actually felt worth it. The 10 levels you'll spend getting to know the Shadowlands definitely live up to the standard of quality we expect from Blizzard in terms of zone design, music, and affecting character moments. And at max level, this is probably the most compelling World of Warcraft's beckoning call to stick around has ever been, mainly because of Torghast and the chances it presents you to craft your own legendary items. But the fact remains that max level play is designed to keep you around as long as possible with a limited amount of drip-fed story and repetitive daily and weekly activities. Shadowlands has more of them, and they're more fun than any previous expansion, but it's still a treadmill. Don't get me wrong, this one ranks highly in the Pantheon, up there with Legion and Wrath of the Lich King, partly because it makes some honest and substantial attempts to reinvigorate the tired endgame formula. It remains to be seen how long it'll hold my interest, but in that sense, it's the most promising addition to World of Warcraft in years. For more RPGs, check out our reviews of Cyberpunk 2077 and Demon's Souls for PS5, and for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.